The morning call starts right now, and it takes us to Kenya. The country's Deputy President, William Ruto, is criticizing the Raila Odinga-led Orange Democratic Movement over calls to amend the constitution in order to expand the executive. According to him, the campaign is premature and unnecessary and will only be unfair to Kenyan citizens. Just a few months after undergoing a lengthy, contentious election period. But for the ODM party, the push for changes is unstoppable. Party Secretary General Edwin Sifuna has described those against the call for the changes as selfish individuals without the interest of Kenyans at heart. For this opposition party, the recent handshake between President Uhuru Kenyatta and Raila Odinga should enable full implementation of the agreement and had given the much-needed dialogue on electoral injustices a chance that the party is ready to exploit.
C'est exact, Linette, et j'ajoute que les deux...
The two political figures had by this unexpected symbolic gesture put an end to their quarrel and promised to work together for national reconciliation. This single handshake was enough to draw an 8-month line from an electoral series that highlighted the deep political ethnic fractures crossing Kenya. The August presidential election results had initially been annulled in court. Later, Uhuru Kenyatta was re-elected in an October election boycotted by the opposition. In all this, the political violence claimed at least 92 lives.
Well, Benji Ndolo is a political analyst in Kenya, and he joins us now from the capital, Nairobi. It's always a pleasure to have you in the program, sir. So a section of opposition parties in Kenya is pushing for a referendum that would create positions for its leaders, including Raila Odinga. But does this Kenyan constitution recognize this referendum?
The Constitution does allow for referendum. However, as I've advised today, people in government, both publicly and privately, just today, this would be a wrong move. A referendum to change a constitution must not be about an individual. It must not be about just an event. It would be a historic and constitutional moment that would be necessitated by a situation so important and so grave as to justify that action. It is very involving. We have just come out of a long campaign period, and so to put the country again on a campaign footing to amend the constitution of the republic just to accommodate the opposition inside government is not only wrong, but it is also wrong-headed and certainly wrong-timed. And so for a democracy to work like it should, there has to be an opposition for checks and balances, against the government.
Now, Benji Ndolo, as a political analyst, don't you think the Vice President's recent stand could be seen as an attempt to undermine the handshake and unity talks between President Uhuru Kenyatta and Raila Odinga?
If so, that would be natural. The government, as it is a Jubilee government. It's a coalition government of sorts between the wing of the United Republican Party, URP, of the Deputy President William Ruto, and the wing of the National Alliance, TNA, of His Excellency the President Uhuru Kenyatta. And so this was reached having had to resolve very serious differences between the two leaders, who you remember when they came together were both accused at the International Criminal Court of very serious and grave and heinous crimes. And so that would be, for them, a special bond, a special relationship that has resulted in victory for them as a political union, as a political coalition. And so it would be natural that Raila Odinga would be uncomfortable with, William Ruto would be uncomfortable with Raila Odinga coming in.
And it's been said that the famous handshake between the two leaders was to create the position of Prime Minister for Raila Odinga and his co-principals. How true is this?
I think that there's a lot of speculation and there's many suspicions about the ultimate settlement of this handshake, but it did bring some calm because there was very deep divisions and very deep suspicions between the leaders of the followers of the two leaders, especially because of how messy kind of, the election was with the nullification and the rerun, which Raila Odinga didn't participate in, and all of this that you're seeing playing out now in the Electoral Commission. And so there are also reports of, obviously, what was the consideration for Raila Odinga to come to the table. So there's a lot of talk that this is a hand check rather than a handshake.